Hi, it's Mr. Squeegee, and welcome again to another episode of Whether or Not, brought to you on behalf of WindowCleaningResource.com, home of all your year-round window cleaning supplies. Today, I want to just stop and talk a little bit about the solutions, how to keep your solution from freezing, rather, and the additives that you might want to put into it. Probably the most common one that a lot of guys use and have used for many years is the old standby window washing fluid. For your car, and that's exactly what it's designed for. That's where I prefer to use it. I have used quite a bit of this in the past, but I don't like the fact that it has a kind of a no good soap in it. The soap's not really good. The blue dye in the wintertime kind of gets slushy, so now you've got a slushy blue stuff running down the customer's house when you're done with it. It really doesn't lend itself to a professional image. Instead, you can take the main component from this that keeps it from freezing, and that's what's in this jug. It's methanol, methyl alcohol, or as you guys in Canada would call it, methyl hydrate. Now, I get this same place that Chris and Alex get theirs, Window Cleaning Resource. They get theirs in their local area for their window cleaning company from a racing supply store. We have a couple of those around my area, so I go and get 5 gallons at a time from the guy. He's a very nice guy. Charged me about $3.50 a gallon for this. It may vary in your location. I paid about $1.40, $1.30 a gallon when I bought this in bulk, 6 gallons at a time. So if you figure that this is maximum of 25% methanol, so if you go with that maximum of 25%, they're always a little vague on how much is in there. You are talking about 4 gallons of this diluted, or 4 of these gallons dilute what 1 gallon of this will do. And this will cost you about $5.20 or more at the price I got it for, as opposed to $3.50. So if you can find this straight, you don't have the soap, you can add it directly to your own window cleaning soap solution, which will be better for you. You don't have to deal with their soap, and you're going to get a little better value for your money. Now, if you, like me, don't like the blue dye and you're willing to spend a little bit more, at any hardware store, you can find a denatured alcohol, which is basically an ethyl alcohol. The denatured alcohol has ethyl alcohol as well as about 4% methanol in it. It does have a very strong odor though, so I would recommend this only for outside applications. Otherwise it just gets too overpowering. Your customers will not like having this odor in their house. One thing to think about is this is more expensive. This runs about $13 to $14 a gallon. But you can again go quite a ways with that compared to the other. You're going to get a lot better. One thing I do happen to want to do myself is to put those from their original containers into another container. This I have marked off. As you can see, I measured out exactly 128 ounces into this bottle, and then I measured the distance and divided those inch increments that you see it divided off into, and found out that every inch was 16 ounces of fluid. So now I know that for every line I put into my bucket, I'm adding 16 ounces of methanol to my solution. That allows me to be very meticulous. It saves me money. I know exactly what the percentage is then of the additive to my solution. I've done the same thing with the ethanol. Here I make sure it's in a bucket marked off. This happens to work in 10-ounce increments, so I made sure I marked that off. So whatever you do, make sure that you have that in a separate container so that you can be more accurate in how much you're using. It just gives you a better idea of what you're dealing with. Then you kind of get a sense of how much solution or how much antifreeze you put in your water at different temperatures, and then you begin to know exactly how much you need when you go out that day, and you can add it and not have to kind of fiddle with it, worry about it freezing up on you. So we want to make sure that you do that, and the important thing is you want to make sure that when you're carrying these kind of chemicals in your vehicle that you have an MSDS safety sheet on each of those chemicals. You're going to be asking, where can I find those? Well, a handy place is right here, right on WindowCleaningResource.com. There's a download area where you can go in and download a file of the MSDS sheets on different things like methanol or ethyl alcohol or any of the other chemicals that are sold there by Chris and Alex. So again, you want to make sure that whatever you're using, you're safe with it. Those are very flammable, both of those alcohols. Make sure no one's smoking around you. There's flames, open flames. You want to stay away from those. There's a extreme safety caution there. Each of those will say they're highly flammable. So be very careful when working with those chemicals, and you want to make sure you're wearing gloves. Even then, try not to immerse your hands in it any more than you have to, because it can get through your pores and make you extremely sick. So again, it's something we have to do when we're cleaning at these temperatures, but we want to make sure that we're safe when we're doing that. So again, this has been another episode of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Mr. Squeegee, and on behalf of WindowCleaningResource.com, thank you again.